Ano? Tapos ayaw pa mag-send, nakakainis.
Make it to the end. Nice. Next wave.
Restart.
2 tries left. What are you doing?
Next one.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it worked. This is the big one.
Restart.
Only 1 heart left.
Do we have to do this every time?
It's your last attempt. Okay, interesting strategy. That might work.
One line, get in there, guys! Get in there! Where you go? He should be in the middle, where is he? He's right.
You did it.
Yeah.
You fishies.
Ladies, I'm trying to do my work today. Leave me alone type shift.
Shake your dress!
Ladies, come on.
Computer 3, connection lost.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. It's the Mickey Mouse. Bam. It's the Mickey Mouse Club. Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun inside.
Computer 3, connected.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun inside.
On her 18th birthday, the girl's father gave her a bulletproof wardrobe and told her to hide inside if a shooting ever broke out. She thought her dad was being paranoid. This was Korea, after all. How could there possibly be a shooting here? But the next day, her father died under bizarre circumstances. Even stranger, he left her a $20 billion inheritance. The girl was baffled. Her dad made his living selling fish tanks. She'd never heard of anyone making that kind of money from fish tanks, so she turned to her best friend from school for help into a hidden site filled with various weapons. Before they could process what they were seeing, a message popped up. The sender said they were coming to pick up their order. The girl had never seen anything like this. She quickly replied that these items were no longer for sale, but the response came instantly. If he's dead, you have to die too. Before they knew it, the room outside began shaking violently. When they came out to see what was happening, they found the exterior wall had somehow collapsed. As they stood there in shock, a drone appeared right in front of them. Fortunately, her father had replaced the house's windows with bulletproof glass. The two snapped back to reality and bolted for the back door. But the moment they opened it, the drone was waiting for them there. Luckily, the door was bulletproof too. Several drones surrounded the house, seemingly intent on killing them before leaving. Just then, the drones fired off several sticky explosives. After a deafening blast, all the windows were blown out. In the chaos, the two got separated. The boy hid in the wardrobe while the girl ran to the next room. However, the drones tracked the boy's movements and found his hiding spot. When he heard the commotion outside, he froze in terror. Even though the wardrobe was bulletproof, it couldn't withstand explosive rounds. In the nick of time, the girl appeared with a slingshot. After hitting the drone's wing, it began losing balance and crashed to the ground. The girl quickly grabbed a nearby table and smashed the drone to pieces. The boy was paralyzed with fear. Only after the girl called out to him repeatedly did he come to his senses. The two then grabbed the wardrobe door and headed out of the room. But another drone flew at them head-on. The cannon's powerful impact sent them flying several meters back. Just when they thought they were done for, a woman appeared outside with a jammer. All the drones shut down under its effect. Clearly, this woman was on the girl's side. But the moment the woman stepped into the living room, a sniper took aim at her. The woman quickly kicked the girl out of the way, but she herself got hit and dropped her weapon. The girl tried to pick up the weapon from the floor, but then she remembered what her father had told her. Every corner of the room had blind spots the sniper couldn't see. She looked around, then picked up a piece of broken glass from the floor and taped it to a broom handle. She planned to use it like a mirror to locate the sniper, but the next second, the sniper in the distance shattered the glass. She replaced the shard and raised it again to the doorframe. This time, the bullet hit the ceiling. The girl successfully pinpointed the sniper's location. From the two bullet trajectories, she deduced that the top of the refrigerator was in the sniper's dead zone. A bold idea formed in her mind. The girl quickly climbed on top of the refrigerator, planning to jump from there to the safe zone across. At that moment, the swaying curtain caught his attention. He quickly figured out the girl's plan. The girl successfully dodged the sniper's attack. When she tried to reach for the handgun to fight back, she couldn't quite reach it, so she decisively flipped the couch over, blocking the sniper's line of sight just in time. To her surprise, she discovered an unexpected bonus. Her father had hidden a sniper rifle behind the couch. The girl had only been thinking about self-defense, but the sniper rifle gave her the confidence to strike back. By the time the sniper realized what was happening, the girl had already set up the sniper rifle.
We know you've been lonely lately, man. We've found a solution, dude. Look.
Solution?
Move, Aspen!
It's a
Here looking like a dried up Peroon. Oh shit. Okay. Nope. Never mind. I'm out. See, that's why we don't be flaming people like that. They be getting butthurt. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh, the elevator's not here?
Kapatid! Bring me! Bring me! Bible verse! Ay, ikaw. Meron ka. Sige, bigyan mo ko ng favorite mong Bible verse.
Did you say you are completely bound? There's no room for you to wiggle free.
Unfortunately, that's the point of this position.
What position would that be? Hog tie frog leg, spread eagle torpedo?
You know, instead of wasting 5 minutes Googling the top 10 best bondage positions, you could have just asked him where his arms were.
I need you to take your shoulder and slam it up against one of the rods and dislocate it. You should be able to bring your arm above your head to untie yourself.
Okay, I don't think you understand how first-time shoulder dislocations work. It's not like this guy's gonna get an extra amount of range of motion when every single muscle and tendon in his body's trying to pull that sucker back in the socket, trying to fix the...
A man went to attend someone's wedding, only to discover that the bride was actually his own daughter, Rueying. He was shocked and immediately turned away, lowering his head to avoid being recognized. Remembering what his daughter had said before, it suddenly dawned on him, she wasn't going abroad to study as she'd claimed. She was abandoning her poor father to marry into money. Watching all this unfold broke his heart, but to protect his daughter's happiness, he stayed in the shadows, watching from a distance. After that day, he threw himself into work, pushing himself harder than ever to make money, and never mentioned his daughter again. 3 years passed this way. The young couple lived a sweet and happy life together, though there was one regret: Rueying and her husband still hadn't been able to have children. Shangyu, the man's son, found it strange that their father never talked about his sister. Even when Rueying called to congratulate Shangyu on his college graduation, their father would deliberately change the subject. Didn't he miss Rueying at all? When asked, the father simply said that since Rueying didn't care about him, he didn't want to bother her either. It was as simple as that. What Shangyu didn't know was that every Sunday, their father would claim he was going hiking but was actually checking on Rueying. He hadn't missed a single week in 3 years. Seeing his daughter living well in her wealthy household filled him with relief each time. Whenever he spotted news about his son-in-law in the papers, he'd happily clip and save the articles. As long as Rueying and Wu Kai were doing well, he had no intention of disrupting their lives. One morning, Wu Kai went out for his usual jog. Distracted by a phone call from Rueying, he didn't notice a car speeding toward him. At the critical moment, the father, who happened to be there visiting his daughter, pushed him out of harm's way, saving his life but collapsing unconscious on the ground himself. When the father came to, he found himself in a hospital bed. A nurse came to register his information, but just as he finished giving his address, he spotted his son-in-law Wu Kai. To keep his identity hidden, he snuck out while the nurse was taking him for tests. Meanwhile, Rueying had rushed to the hospital after hearing the news. Father and daughter passed right by each other without realizing it. Relieved to find Wu Kai unharmed, Rueying's only regret was that they couldn't thank his savior in person. Mrs. Jiang couldn't understand why someone would save a person and then disappear without a word. Mr. Jiang also felt their son should properly thank the man who'd saved his life. Quick thinking, Rueying realized the hospital must have the man's information on file. Wu Kai agreed this made sense and soon obtained the father's address from the hospital records. Meanwhile, the father had lost his moving company job due to his injured wrist. Just when he was at his wit's end about what to do next, his son-in-law unexpectedly showed up at his door. Grateful for being saved, Wu Kai insisted on taking Uncle Lee to the hospital for a proper checkup. When Uncle Lee firmly refused, Wu Kai had no choice but to pull out the 5 million won he'd prepared as a thank you. Seeing he couldn't refuse everything, Uncle Lee finally agreed to accept just 100,000 won for medical expenses. Wu Kai was surprised the old man wanted so little. Since Uncle Lee was so insistent, he had a hospital bed. A nurse came to register his information, but Rueying had the man's information. The old man wanted so little. Uncle Lee finally agreed to accept just 100,000 won for records. Meanwhile, the father had lost his moving company job due to his injured wrist. Just when he was at his wit's end about what to do next, his son-in-law unexpectedly showed up at his door. Grateful for being saved, Wu Kai insisted on taking Uncle Lee to the hospital for a proper checkup. When Uncle Lee firmly refused, Wu Kai had no choice but to pull out the 5 million won he'd prepared as a thank you. Seeing he couldn't refuse everything, Uncle Lee finally agreed to accept just 100,000 won for medical expenses. Wu Kai was surprised the old man wanted so little. Since Uncle Lee was so insistent, he handed over the 100,000 won along with his business card. Before leaving, Wu Kai wanted to know Uncle Lee's name. Terrified that Wu Kai might mention him to his daughter Rueying, Uncle Lee gave him his friend's name instead, Lu Wanhao. His friend found it strange that Uncle Lee wouldn't use his real name. Uncle Lee could only explain that he had bad credit and didn't want to embarrass himself. On his way back, it suddenly hit Wu Kai. Uncle Lee had mentioned the 100,000 won was 2 days worth of day labor wages. This meant Uncle Lee didn't have a steady job. Wu Kai immediately turned back to the store and asked Uncle Lu where Uncle Lee worked. That's when he learned Uncle Lee had lost his moving job due to a wrist injury. Soon after, when Rueying heard that Wu Kai's lifesaver didn't have steady employment, she suggested Wu Kai find him an easy position at their company. The company happened to need a security guard, so Wu Kai asked Uncle Lee's friend to convince him to take the job. When Uncle Lee heard the monthly salary was 1.5 million won, he was instantly hooked and decided to go for the interview without a second thought. Since Wu Kai had already put in a word with the supervisor, the man skipped the interview entirely and took Uncle Lee straight to the changing room. Telling him to get dressed and start working right away, Uncle Lee was thrilled, thinking he'd hit the jackpot. But then Wu Kai suddenly appeared behind him. Uncle Lee was so startled he dropped the clothes he was holding. When he realized Wu Kai had arranged this job for him, Uncle Lee absolutely refused to accept it and angrily told Wu Kai to stop meddling in his business. His strange reaction only made Wu Kai more curious about what was going on. To keep Wu Kai from digging deeper, Uncle Lee reluctantly accepted the job and quietly settled into his new role. A few months later, Wu Kai wanted Rueying to meet his lifesaver, so he asked her to come to the company and wait for him. When Rueying arrived, Uncle Lee spotted her immediately. He crouched behind a wall, secretly watching his daughter. Wu Kai couldn't help but laugh at Uncle Lee's ridiculous posture. Curious about what Uncle Lee was looking at, he followed his gaze and discovered Uncle Lee was watching Rueying. When Wu Kai approached and asked what he was doing there, Uncle Lee panicked, not knowing how to answer. Wu Kai mentioned that his wife happened to be there today and had always wanted to thank him for saving his life, so he wanted to invite him to dinner. Realizing he was about to destroy his daughter's marriage, Uncle Lee went pale with fear. He quickly made up an excuse about having other plans and hurried off. Wu Kai didn't push it, though he found it a bit odd. Uncle Lee knew that if he kept working there, he'd eventually run into his daughter Rueying. To avoid this inevitable meeting, he submitted his resignation to Wu Kai, claiming that a relative in Busan had opened a factory and needed his help. While Wu Kai was disappointed, he didn't want to stand in the way. He simply told Uncle Lee to reach out if he ever needed anything. After Uncle Lee left the office, Wu Kai realized it was freezing outside and the old man was wearing such thin clothes. He wanted to give him a down jacket as a parting gift, but when he got to the locker room, Uncle Lee had already gone. Just then, a new employee found a photo in one of the lockers. When Wu Kai took a look, he was shocked to see it was a picture of his wife. Remembering how he caught Uncle Lee staring at Rueying before. Wu Kai couldn't shake the feeling that there was something between them. To get to the bottom of this, Wu Kai went to the address listed on Uncle Lee's resume. Since Uncle Lee had been using his friend Lu Wanhao's name at work, Wu Kai asked the landlady if this was where Lu Wanhao lived, but she told him the tenant's name was actually Lee Sam-jae. The name hit Wu Kai like a ton of bricks. His late father-in-law was also named Lee Sam-jae. The landlady mentioned that Uncle Lee's daughter used to live there, but after Uncle Lee and his son moved in, she never came back. A wild theory started forming in Wu Kai's mind. Could Uncle Lee actually be his father-in-law? But his wife had clearly told him her father was dead. With his suspicions growing stronger, Wu Kai went to the police station to check his wife's family records. That's when the shocking truth hit him. The man who had saved his life was none other than his father-in-law, Lee Sam-jae. After piecing things together, he realized that while Uncle Lee knew about his marriage to Rueying had no idea what was happening in her father's life. This meant she'd cut ties with her dad right after getting married. Suddenly, his wife felt like a complete stranger to him. Unable to face her, he went out drinking with friends to clear his head. Meanwhile, Rueying waited on the couch for him to come home. When she woke up in the middle of the night thinking he was still out, she opened the bedroom door only to find him already asleep. She felt hurt. In the past, he would have carried her to bed before going to sleep himself. She couldn't understand why he'd suddenly become so cold. When she asked what was wrong, he brushed her off impatiently and left without explaining. It was the first time she'd ever seen that look on his face. Trying to smooth things over, Rueying asked him out to dinner. Wu Kai wanted to give her a chance to come clean, so he gently asked if there was anything she wanted to tell him. The sudden question made Rueying nervous, but she insisted she had no secrets. Her denial left him deeply disappointed. Meanwhile, after Rueying abandoned her father, he'd been living with her younger brother Shangyu. During the 3 years since Rueying married Wu Kai, Shangyu had fallen in love with a girl named Mei Jing. Just as they were talking about marriage, Shangyu was horrified to discover that Mei Jing's brother was actually his brother-in-law. He was devastated. To protect his sister's happiness, Shangyu broke up with Mei Jing, but they were deeply in love, and Mei Jing wouldn't accept the breakup without a real explanation. Shangyu could only tell her that she was a wealthy heiress while he was just a poor guy who didn't deserve her. To ease Shangyu's concerns about her family's wealth, Mei Jing asked her brother to help convince him. Soon, Shangyu got a call from Wu Kai wanting to meet. He immediately refused. He knew if this continued, his brother-in-law would soon discover his relationship with his sister, putting him in an impossible situation. There was another girl, Haoding, who was also in love with Shangyu. Her father and Mei Jing's father were good friends, so the two girls had known each other since childhood. When Haoding learned that Shangyu loved Mei Jing, she stepped aside, but her feelings for him never faded. Desperate to make a clean break from Mei Jing, Shangyu proposed to Haoding instead. Even though Haoding knew Shangyu didn't love her and that this wasn't fair to Mei Jing, seeing how much pain he was in over the whole situation, she said yes. At the same time, Wu Kai was shocked to discover that the man his younger sister deeply loved was actually Shangyu, his wife's younger brother. Now it all made sense, why Shangyu had suddenly broken up with his sister, and why he'd been avoiding him at all costs. After learning the secret, Wu Kai completely fell apart. He knew this was the first time his sister had truly given her heart to someone. As he listened to her pour out her feelings for Shangyu, each word made him feel worse. All he could do was keep apologizing to her over and over. By the time Wu Kai got home, he was completely wasted. His wife Rueying tried to help him to the bedroom, but he shoved her away. Even when she tried to help him out of his jacket, he looked disgusted. Rueying wanted to know what she'd done wrong, but Wu Kai shot back sarcastically that she was absolutely perfect. How could she possibly be wrong? His bitter sarcasm was more than Rueying could take. She just wanted to know why her husband was treating her this way. Since they'd already come this far, Wu Kai decided to give Rueying a hint. He told her he was in a terrible mood because of what happened with his sister, but Rueying couldn't understand what her sister-in-law's problems had to do with her. So, Wu Kai challenged her, "Did you forget you have a brother?" His words left Rueying speechless. She began to wonder if Wu Kai had found out about her father and brother. Now she was drowning in regret, because of one lie. She couldn't have any contact with her father and brother, and now even her marriage was hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, after Shangyu decided to date Haoding, their wedding plans quickly moved.
You! Have you ever heard of a mountain chicken? Please don't hurt me. Have you ever heard of a mountain chicken? No. What do you think it looks like? Like a really big chicken? That's what I thought, but no! It's this motherfucker!
Royalty breakfast omelette. Why are we pouring hot water into the eggs? What is going? It's bubbling behind it. I thought you just pour the egg white and whatever you're mixing into the pan and then fold it over. Why are we scooping out the bubbles, Sharon? Do the bubbles make a difference? We're still whisking it. Why are we taking out the bubble? Okay, that is a lot of salt. Do you reckon you need any more salt? Talk about overseas. You're still going! That would burn me lips off. And the rest. My tongue would go numb. Why have we put a smiley face? Why are we steaming it? Oh my God, it's like a little bit of jelly in the fridge. And look at the yolk in the middle, it's gone all hard. Why are we cutting it into square? Guys, does anyone know about it? A bit of soy sauce to go through the gaps. What's that, oil? Oh my God, it's jiggling. More seasoning, some sesame seed. Is that still raw though? Hello?
Go down, go down, go down.
The elevator can't do that, dude. Yo, come on, that's like, come on, let's go. Yeah, come on, get it. Yeah, that's a crawling.
Excuse me, sir, is this class number 3?
Who are you? That's the new kid, sir.
Did I ask you? I'm just trying to help. Help yourself to passing my class. What's your name? Ethan without the K. Oh my gosh, another idiot. I know there's no K in Ethan. That's what I just said. Is he always like this?
7 years per hour here.
Take a seat, bucko, next to Billy. Weirdo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Don't freaking mess with me. Hopefully you'll do better than the rest here. How hard could it be?
The mission. The nightmares. There. Finally.
Not quite. You failed. Huh? And so did you, Ryan. Looks like you'll be in my class again next year, Ryan.
Are you trying to hurt my feelings? Fortunately, my feelings regenerate at twice the speed of a normal man's.
Compass.
Can anyone give me an example?